Simple question. Do you agree? Hello everyone, and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video, we're headed to the world of Diablo 2. The good old writers over at Rant have officially put out their list of Diablo 2 characters ranked. And of course, they've got some written material as to why they feel 7 is 7 and 1 is 1. And today we're going to break that down and take a look at it, and I want to know if you agree, because surely I'm going to tell you if I agree. As always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to support smaller channels. All right, let's jump right into this. Right, everyone, we are officially on Rant. Titled this article, Diablo 2 Every Class Ranked. Now what I'm going to do is go through their list, and then I will give you my opinion and what my list is. They're somewhat, they're not very similar at all, but I understand their reasoning for why they put their list together. Okay, starting off, Rant is saying the worst class in Diablo 2 is the Barbarian. This is why. The Barbarian is probably the most basic class to use in Diablo 2. It doesn't necessarily mean he's worthless, but there are some significant drawbacks to using this character. First of all, he's extremely reliant on gear. Regardless of the build, his skill trees are definitely the least attractive ones among all of the other players can find in the game, especially early on. Abilities such as their mastery of basic weapons, i.e. swords, axes, maces, fade in comparison with the Necromancer, who can summon useful and quite powerful skeletons from the very first level. So they are saying the Barbarian is the worst. Now, this probably sounds crazy, but I remember my Barbarian in Diablo 2, I wanted to do something totally against the grain, so mine was an axe thrower. You did not see many axe-throwing Barbarians in Diablo 2, but guess what? Mine was. All right, moving on to number 6. Where does Rant rank the number 6 character? It is the Assassin. One of the two classes that were introduced into the game later on, with the Lords of Destruction DLC, the Assassin is quite interesting character lore-wise, but she falls short when it comes to some of her in-game abilities. This character class specializes in sneaky combat tactics and diversion. It makes her fun to play around with, but players new to Diablo 2 should not expect to have an easy time defeating the prime evils as an Assassin. Now, I do have to say right off the bat, I disagree with Assassin being 6. It for sure isn't in the top 3, but when it comes to gameplay, when it comes to gearing it, doing your dual unique claws, I have so many memories of me and my buddy who are both assassins chasing down guided arrow builds from Amazons, trying to get them and outrun them. The Assassin is a whole lot of fun. Number 6, the Assassin. Moving over to number 5, and that is the Amazon. How can you rate the Amazon number 5? Blasphemy. Why do they say this? The Amazon is a versatile class, highly skilled in using ranged weapons. It's quite popular among Diablo 2 newbies and veterans alike, as she is fairly easy to get used to, but proves a challenge to master. Aside from bows and crossbows, the Amazon can be highly effective as a spear-using build. My favorite build of all time, my Javazon. Very unique. This gives players who prefer to engage in close quarters combat the opportunity to try out this class. The Amazon number 5. I don't accept that. Number 4, Rant says, is the Druid. Now this is the one for me, it's going to go a little higher up in the list. Now whenever I made a Druid in Diablo 2, I also went against the grain because everybody always used the wolf. I used the werebear. Fun fact, grizzly bears are my favorite animal. Number 4, the Druid. Along with the Assassin, the Druid was added in Diablo 2 Lords of Destruction expansion. A lot of fans refer to him as the most well-rounded class in the game. I can get behind that, and I understand why. On the other hand, the rest of the community deems Druids useless in the long run. There is some truth to both statements. Diablo 2 Druids are fun, in fact the most versatile class in the game. They have the conjuring abilities usually associated with Necromancers, combat spells comparable to those of the Sorceress, and they are quite skilled when it comes to using swords and maces. They also have the unique ability to shapeshift into a werebear or a werewolf. Okay? What else? I'm going to read one more paragraph on this because I'm curious. Most of the popular Druid builds focus on the skill. Actually, I'm not going to read that. It's just talking about the skills that make it better. Okay, the Druid. Number 4. Now we're going to get into the top 3. All right. Where does Game Rant think the best 3 characters are? Number 3, the Necromancer. Blasphemy. The Necromancer class is the most suitable one for players who are new to isometric ARPGs. The game allows Necromancers to summon skeletons from the start, laying down the groundwork for following the path of the Summonmancer build. One of the most powerful builds in Diablo 2. It's also the build that people hate because it lagged the game down. At 1 million minions on the screen, back then, it couldn't handle it. Once leveled up enough, the Necromancer will have the potential to create a true army of the undead that will handle most of the dirty combat work. The Necromancer in Diablo 2 was the character of characters. So much fun, and my Necromancer was a corpse exploder. Number 2. Now we're getting to it. The Source. The Sorceress is an incredible powerful class and one of the most entertaining ones to play as. This is because of her versatile magic trees, which branch out to 3 categories: fire, lightning, and cold. And of course, you have to make a frozen orb sorceress as your first class. Because of teleport, you can do magic runs over and over again. You gotta have a source. Okay? I'm sure you already knew that. Their clear distinction into 3 elemental types of magic build creation a very straightforward affair, even for a complete ARPG noob. I had a buddy that loved his sorceress, and he did a firewall. He was a firewall sorceress. I never liked it. If you're gonna go fire, you have to go Hydra. And number 1, Game Rant says, if you know the classes, process of elimination, the Paladin. The video game good guy. As such, many players may find using him to be quite a boring ordeal. But in fact, he is the most powerful one out of all playable Diablo 2 classes. The Paladin can access to a variety of magical and melee skills. On top of that, he is also adept at using ranged weapons. I don't know if I've ever seen a ranged Paladin. So now I'm going to get a million comments saying it's the most common. That's obviously how it goes. If you like ranged, go with an Amazon. The most popular Paladin build by far is the Hammer. It deals insanely high damage thanks to a lot of points invested in Blessed Hammer. Paladin, number 1. Okay, good list. I appreciate the breakdown. Now I'm going to give you my list. Okay? And it's actually been really hard. I've been going back in my head because I've played this game for so long and I love all the classes that it was hard to put them into words and into a list. Like, obviously right now this list is based upon how good the class is. So from a power score, they're putting Paladin number 1. Okay, my list is different. Number 1, the Necromancer. Okay, Necromancer for me, numero 1. Class number 2, Source. So this one I agree with. Sorceress can be number 2. Super fun. You can do speed runs. You could play with a team. Magic Find. Very strong. Good class. Anybody played Diablo 2, I'm sure you had a sorceress. Number 3. This is where people are going to be mad at me. Okay? And it's just my opinion. The Amazon. I'm moving Amazon up +2. Down 2. Number 3. The Amazon. The Javazon might be my favorite isometric ARPG class I've ever played. So unique, I've never seen anything like it before, and that's why I was hoping that they were going to announce an Amazon for the playable class in Diablo 4. Unfortunately, we got the Rogue. The Rogue's still a good class, but I wanted the Amazon back. So that's number 3. Number 4. Now we can go to the Paladin. I loved my Paladin. I played a lot of Paladin, but yeah, it was kind of boring. Obviously, it was a strong class. I'm pretty sure my Paladin at one point was unkillable. I could just stand there and nothing can hurt me, okay? So, you know, from that regards, obviously he's a very powerful class, but he's also kind of boring. So, for me, number 4, the Paladin. Moving up the list to number 5, we are now going to jump to my Assassin. And not a big jump. So the assassin for me takes number 5, moves up 1 ranking. I think the assassin is the fastest character in the game. And I remember running like, I mean, fast. Like you feel like the Flash when you are built correctly on your assassin. Fun class. I think it's underrated. I think the assassin has always been underrated. And that's why it was in the top 3 when people were voting for what classes they wanted to see return to Diablo 4. The assassin was always top 3. Fun class. Number 6. Now I'm going to the Druid. And the Druid, I mean, I loved my Druid. I thought the Druid was fun, but it was never true endgame. My Werebear could never push like my Source could, or my Paladin could. It was just kind of fun shape-shifting because you didn't really see that in games at that point. And then my second, where I'm in agreement with Game Rant, is the Barbarian. Now, to give the Barbarian some credit, he is my favorite class when it came to Diablo 3. So for Diablo 3, my leaping Earthquake Barbarian was my favorite, but in Diablo 2, he was my least favorite. He was kind of boring, just like the Paladin, only not as strong as the Paladin. So you just swing the whole time, or you basically just whirlwind the whole time. The whole game. Jump, whirlwind. So that's my list. So I am very, very curious what you all think. You got to see some gameplay for this video. You got to see different perspectives from Game Rant and me. I want to know in the comments section below. Take just a few seconds. Think about your experiences. Think about what you heard during this video. Do you side with me? Do you side with Game Rant? Or are you coming up with your own opinion that is completely different? Is the Barbarian maybe your favorite? I want to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the comments section below with where you rank these characters. Because if you're watching this video, maybe you love Diablo, maybe you can't wait for Diablo 2 Resurrected, which is coming out soon. Let me know in the comment section below. If you have not joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're over 650 members. Great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together, so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. I hope you all enjoyed this breakdown, and I hope you all have a love for Diablo 2 like me. But that's it. Stay home, stay safe. Do not forget to join the official Action RPG Discord. Aaron, out.